So far, we are discussing about the material properties, particularly physical properties and mechanical properties. Now, I'm going to talk about the chemical properties. So here also very few properties list I'm going to address very briefly and generally. The first one, oxidation. Already you have come these terms earlier. Just I'm trying to reminding that one, which is one of the major topic in your first unit. So try to concentrate these things. Oxidation. So if any substance that which gives electron, we call as it is oxidized. Here also we are talking about in a similar manner, but here our intention, our interest is somewhat different. Some materials are easy to get oxidized. That means the material is react with the oxygen which are presented in the surroundings. So when it is reacts, the oxides layers will form. But the question is that oxide layer formation and all these things are because of the chemical reactions only. But the question will comes, which material are easy to form and which material has difficult to form this oxidation nature. That tells when you know its oxidation property. So that means oxidation is one of the chemical property where the material will react with the oxygen and formation of oxide layer. And here toxicity. Some materials or some chemicals here whenever it is react with some chemical solutions, particularly that solution is easy to damage about the organs or organisms. Those are we called as a toxic in nature. That means the material has some toxicity. Some material has easy to form the oxidation. So like that we are being. The next one, flammability. Here some materials are very easy to burn and ignite. And these things generally we will observe in particularly at the Diwali time, the magnesium material crackers. When you burn those things, it will be burn different colors, it will color combinations. The reason is the magnesium which is presented in them. The magnesium has nature of burning with different colors, easy to burn. Yeah. So that material which has easy to form fire to catch the fires, that property is called flammability. The corrosion. Here also when I mentioned about the oxidation, here also the same thing. The corrosion. Generally what we read about in the earlier topic, corrosion resistance. Like as an example of iron, the iron material when you expose to the seawater or environment, the iron material reacts with the water particles which are present in the environment and forms the iron oxide layer called as a rust. So the rust formation is called as a corrosion. But our materials always require a corrosion resistance. That means the rust formation is not happen. There is a corrosion resistance. But the question is comes here in a chemical property, which materials is formed as a corrosionous. So in the chemical properties, once again I will repeat. So the four properties which I am trying talking here. One is about the oxidation, toxic, and the third one is about flammability, and fourth one is corrosion. So then now we'll go for talk about a different one that is about manufacturing properties. In industries, the materials when they are using, they will ask you what property it has. The one of the property is casting. What do you mean by casting or castability means? The casting products, that means the material we are heated, it will become as a liquid molten state, and this liquid molten state we are poured into a molds and we are giving some time to solidify it. So the first step is heating the material and convert into liquid state, and the liquid state we are poured into a mold and wait for the solidification. That means convert into liquid to solid. So what will happen finally? The final finished product is nothing but a replica of the mold. So the process is the casting, and all these things are casting products. Now, if you want to decide which material is good for the casting means, the question will come castability. Every material has different type of castability nature. If it is good for the castability property, then you have to understand, yes, the material in the liquid molten state, it is easy to move. It is recommendable that type of production. The similarly ability machine. So that means some materials are very easy and very good for a metal cutting actions. If say some material I am taken, some material is I have to remove here to maintain prescribed dimensions. I want to cut it otherwise. Whenever you are using in a machine, the machine tool is going to be cut. If it is good machinability property, then it is very easy to cut and make into different sizes and shapes by comfortably. But some materials are very hard, so very difficult to work on. So the question comes here, what about its machinability property? And this castability, machinability comes under the manufacturing property. Keep it in mind. Similarly, like as weldability, the name itself is the weldability. The ability of a material which are good for the welding formation or welding process. All the materials are not possible. Welding is nothing but permanent joint. We are given some type of heat energy. That heat energy is melted in particular localized heat, makes into joint those two metal plates. So this is called general welding. Now here the question comes the weldability. Every material is similarly welded? No. Similar welding is not possible. Similar technique also is not possible. So those are good for the welding operations. Those are called as the weldability properties. Good. So here the next one, electrical property. So far I am completed about chemical, and another one is about mechanical. Chemical properties, and another one is manufacturing properties, about 3. The next one is about the electrical properties. Now here I am dealing, the main field is about electricity, the flow of current. Even though if you don't know anything also, you can generally say the flow of current is one, the resistance is one, direct strength is one. So already these are you studied, just I am trying to remind you. First one is the conductivity. So conductivity is defined as ability to material pass the electrical current. That's it. Conduction nature. The current is flowing means the electrons is flowing means it has a good conductor. The copper is a good conductor, and which is measured in the ohm per meter. Similarly, the resistance is there. Resistance means the name itself is mentioned. They are completely opposite to the conductivity. The flow of electron or the resistive flow of the electron, the resistance is called as a resistivity, which can measure in ohms or ohmmeters. The next one, thermoelectricity. So here when the terms thermoelectricity, thermo means heat. So here I am talking about the two dissimilar metals joined together and maintain two different junctions and provided two different temperatures. What will happen? So it is nothing but a thermocouple in nature. So here the different type of materials is in place in a decision of this thermocouple nature. So the material is good for thermocouple because it is good for thermoelectricity nature. The next one, temperature coefficient resistance. Temperature coefficient resistance. So when I said about the resistance is there about the flow of current, but that resistance is also affected with the temperatures. So the temperature means the resistance of the material change with the temperature, which is measured per degree centigrade. For example, if one of the material, if I am choosing here from the table column, magnenon, which has 0.00002 per degree centigrade. That means for every degree centigrade, this much of resistance is changing. Every material has some value. And finally, about the electrical property is dielectric strength. Dielectric strength. So this is the ability of a material to withstand high voltages. The high voltages there, generally these materials will be recommended when you particularly about to operate without any damage or without any failure of the systems, which will be measured about kilovolt per centimeter. The dielectric strength is good. That material mostly we are using in the transformers and power stations to transfer the power. So this is about this is it for the electrical properties. And here some table which gives about the dielectric strength for different materials. The material may be air, or maybe glass, mica, or maybe rubber. How much value will be there? So don't think about what I am talking electrical means only electrical, one property, one material. It's not like. For each material, it is possible to address its physical nature, chemical, mechanical, and maybe next one, manufacturing. It may be like as optical. So all these things we have to address. But as per our simplicity, for what application, what is your requirement, those things only we have to try to address. Similarly, the second table is gives about the resistivity of the various materials. Resistivity. The silver has 1.59 into 10 power minus 8 meter. It's much of resistance. The silicon has resistivity is 6.4 into 10 power 2. There is no such a resistivity, it is simply possible. That's why silicon is recommended for the process of the electric powers, electrical pulses. Clear? The next one, the last category of the material properties, that is about optical property. So the name itself is mentioned about the optic. So optical property of material is nothing but interaction of the electromagnetic radiation, that is in the visible form. So if you observe the electromagnetic wave from this diagram, which are available in different forms, the radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves, visible waves. Visible waves means those waves which you can see. And what are the other things, radio, microwave, these are not visible to us. Its frequency is different, its wavelength is different. So in here, the different types of natures are present, different type of waves are presented, and the list will be shown from the diagram. There is a gamma rays will be there, X-rays will be there, ultraviolet rays will be there. So each one has a different frequency and different wavelength is there, which can see them. Now, we are talking about only certain properties here, the optical property. Here, in the electromagnetic spectrum, the radiation span wide rangely varies from the gamma rays from wavelength 10 to the power minus 12 meters. So that means it is about from X-rays, ultraviolet and visible infrared, and finally the radio waves. And for the radio waves, it has 10 to the power 5 meters of wavelength. Now, when you observe, this is one of the point, just for importance point of view, the range about the wavelength for the visible, it is for 0.39 to 0.77 micrometers. So here the main thing is the light can be considered having a waves and causing the particles. We know that one is called as photons. So here the three things when the light rays are going to be contact about the material. One is about possibility of occurring about the either transparent or a translucent or maybe opaque. So the three possibility, already you know that these things, just I am simply very clearly understood. If a material is possible to allow those light rays through the material, called as it has a good transparent property. Translucent means it allows the rays, but only partially rays only goes out. Some part of partial is goes out. That is called translucent. Opaque means it is not possible to go. Like as a brick is just showing here, the brick which was resist about the flow of light. There is no light can transfer inside of the material. So those are opaque. So these three are also properties. So here I'm small exercise I'm giving to you. This geography which is showing about here opaque and other one is about translucent and transparent. The questions may be here. What is the examples for that one? So from this understanding of this, what are the geography diagram, from the diagram, what to understand from that one. So try to give about this, the examples. About butter, ground, glass comes under what type of property. That means the three condition. This may be opaque or translucent or transparent. So for this example, like as wooden door is there, wall is there, which comes under what category? The BBT is there, water and clear gas comes under what properties? So these are the, not only three properties, some other properties we'll try to talk now. One is absorbability. The name itself is absorb. So here the materials which has light can absorb inside of the material. So how much amount it will be falling? The same amount, almost same amount you try to absorb on the material or incident on the material is called absorbability nature. Transmitting, the name itself mentioned transfer. So simply about the reflection of the light rays to the other side. It's called transmitting. The next one is a reflection. So the reflection is about reflecting the material rays which are from other direction. Whereas transmissivity means light is going towards the material. Whereas the reflection means it is reflected towards the other sides. So these are the three properties. Another one, refractive index. So the index, it indicates about the scale, and every material they will measure about this refractive index. It is defined as the ratio of the velocity of the light in vacuum to the velocity of the metal or material. This is called as the refractive index. Similarly, emissivity. It describes how much light is radiated or emitted from the material in relation to the material radiated by the black body. Of course, the condition of the temperature will be same. That means emissivity is measures with reference to the black body reflected or black body radiated. So that is called emissivity. It is the ratio, the constant. So here, when you're talking about all these fields, maybe in the mechanical, you can use about any applications like as automobile point of view. So physical, everything will come. Similarly, the optical properties also play a major role. And here simply I'm giving some examples of that one. So if whatever you are using about the domestic or medicine or maybe manufacturing field, heat transfer, radiation, optics, laser technologies, there may be non-contact temperature measurement. That means temperature measurement, no need to contact that body. Even if you have this light absorbing properties or materials, with help of that one, we are measuring what is its temperatures. Right? Pyrometers is one of the tool device which can measure the temperatures, very high temperatures. So glasses in the building, cars. So all these applications, these optical properties are going to play a major role. Now, so once we clear, I'm just giving an idea about engineering materials. Already you are familiar about what is that engineering material classification, about the metals and non-metals, ferrous and non-ferrous group, these things. But what I want to try to mention here, every material there is a possibility to think about its property. The property, it may be a physical, mechanical property, or it may be a chemical property, or electrical property, or it may be optical properties. Of course, manufacturing also comes. Not only this, any some other goal will be there. So all these properties, when you know or when you're familiar, then only you are in such a position to decide in your application what material is recommended or what properties are recommended. So once you, as per your application, once you decide these properties are required, then any material if you select, the material property you just compare this one, then you can decide whether it is suitable to you or your application or not. This is the way how the engineers will be working. So finally, I'm summarizing here. So far, I'm talking about the engineering material property and more particularly what are the points to selection and the materials. The point to selection means the material cost, availability, and its service. The next one about the study the material properties. Already mentioned all these different fields of the material property study and some applications about I simply address about the optical properties. This is it for today. Before I'm closing that one, small quiz is there. You try to note down these questions and try to get it. Which of the following properties describe the part of the subject shock and impact law? What is the property name? The second bit, ductile of a material can be defined. So the ABC, one is the right answer. You just identify what is the right answer. The toughness of a material dash when it is heated, either increase or decrease or remain same. What is that? Similarly, the next two questions are there. To protect a material from corrosion,ness what you will do? And among the bakelite, rubber and paper, which is the highest direct scale. So these are the questions which I was covered from the lecture. Try to listen once again and try to answer these questions. And the sixth one, distinguish the metal and non-metal based on the property. So here some materials properties was given, which are comes under metal, which are comes under non-metal. Try to do some exercise on this one. Similarly, the seventh bit is there, column A and column B for the matching purpose. Try to match word, what is that one? Related to which application. Okay. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for your patience. And if you have any queries, please contact me, kpc_mech@rectorvignan.ac.in. Thanks for joining.